Tigebun, Leonard Silk and Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba Omoyegi, SAN, ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic, other principal officers of our great university, the provosts, deans, directors, the inaugural lecturer, and her husband, professors emeriti, other esteemed scholars in the auditorium, and administrators, my lords spiritual, great esteemed staff and students, invited guests, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a huge pleasure to welcome you to today's inaugural lecture, which is the 348th in this series. Please put your hands together for Uniben. The lecturer today is an intellectual par excellence and a lady of exceptional candor, Professor Faith IGUODALA AKINNIBOSUN. And the topic, Microbial Mischief or Mastery, the Magic, Mystery, and Measurable Impact. The Registrar of the University, Mr. Ademola Babola, is now invited to formally introduce the representative of the Vice Chancellor and other scholars on the procession. Mr. Registrar.
I think we should give the PRO some encouragement. I don't want to give myself too much of encouragement because the Vice Chancellor will have to approve before that can be given to me. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to plead in the usual way that I be allowed to continue to abide by the protocol as duly established by the University's PRO, Dr. Mrs. Benedicta Haniri. And I want to also say that all courtesies duly extended. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor today to present to us the principal officers of this university, particularly the leader of our community at this particular time, and we'll continue to say it for the sake of having the record put straight. The 11th substantive Vice Chancellor of this university assumed duty on 2nd December 2024. And ever since, it's a flight that has taken off and is sailing very smoothly. And the number one citizen who is directing the affairs is a very distinguished scholar, one in the legal profession. Apart from being a professor, he has also climbed to the topmost in the legal profession as a senior advocate of Nigeria. He has worked in different areas of human endeavor, including within the university serving in capacity as head of department, and then even along the unionism, he was secretary of one of the most vociferous unions, staff union on campus, Academic Staff Union of Nigeria Universities. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause. At least the ASU that has been helping to shape the face of Nigerian educational system. And he worked in the National Assembly for over 7 years as director in one of the very important arms of that particular institute, Nigerian Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILT, right there in the National Assembly. I'm talking of no other person than our very distinguished Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba B. Omoyegi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Well, the Vice Chancellor is very much with us because this program is beamed live, is live streamed. And oftentimes, when some of us are not around, we carry our phones or tablets and we follow what goes on. I know it's following us very well here. But physically, it's being represented here today by a man who combines scholarship with tradition. He's a distinguished member of the palace, the very revered palace of Oba of Benin, as a chief. And he's also a very distinguished scholar who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Victor Oge Igbeneweka, who is standing in for the Vice Chancellor. The VC is also assisted, as we know, by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, who is a very distinguished scholar in his own capacity too. He has been a professor, full professor, for upward of almost 25 years and is still kicking, still very performing. Professor Christopher Osubo, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration. We have another very distinguished academic, this time from the Faculty of Pharmacy, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Ekewa Campus, who is combining this time around religion also with scholarship. Is the one leading the Muslim community of this campus and beyond, Professor Bunyamin Ayinde, Deputy Vice Chancellor Ekewa Campus. There are two distinguished principal officers who are being looked upon today. And if you see the entourage of the Vice Chancellor today is so filled up, God will help us to really present all of them as quickly as we can today. Because we have two attractions, two principal officers assumed duty this week by Monday. We've been in this process since October last year, or even before then. We have acting officers for more than 1 year for each of those positions. The first one is the keeper of our treasury, the man who is going to be the one who say no money, no money. But we pray that on his own time, it will be more, there is money, there is money. So we will have the issue of no money again. And he has promised that he came from a private university recently and is going to transform the treasury of this university, working with Vice Chancellor. Mr. Osage Osifo is the new bursar of the university. To clap very well for him so that money will continue to flow. And of course we have with us here today a brand new university librarian, but this time around we are switching to the female gender. I know some people like the former registrar of this university will be pleased to welcome her into the fold of this university. I know Mr. Ojomo will be very happy that we are presenting a female this time around. We went the way of men, but we are now coming back to the way of women. Professor Jane Abba, the new university librarian. Let me take the liberty of the Vice Chancellor has given me to tell us that both of them are highly distinguished. Council found them appointable after very rigorous exercise. And we are very sure that the university is in another phase of advancement. So once again, let's welcome them with a round of applause. And as quickly as possible, we have two distinguished provosts. First, Provost of the College of Postgraduate Studies, Professor David Zeko. The Provost of our very reputable College of Medical Sciences, Professor Wilson Sado. And of course, we have the #1 student of this campus, who is a distinguished professor and someone who has served in different capacities, recently the chairman of security committee. Everywhere you will see him, and his ubiquitous nature has propelled him to be the dean of student affairs. Professor Freddy Ekaise. He's a man who can eat groundnut with any of the students anywhere. You see him chopping, he can take biscuit from them any particular moment. We have the host dean of today who has a very, very unique initials, TOT, Imobe, the host dean, Faculty of Life Sciences. Of course, we have the man who is always oppressing all of us. Some of you will think that I'm a very tall man, but when I stand beside this man, I become a very short man. He's the Dean Faculty of Agriculture. The food in that faculty is so much, can prepare somebody to be as tall as Professor Abolagba. The Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Professor C.O. Emokao. And of course, we have the Dean Faculty of Arts, a very distinguished Reverend gentleman, Professor O.B. Osadolo. The Dean School of Basic Medical Sciences is represented by Professor G.D. Forai. And of course, we have another Osadolo in the house. One Osadolo just stepped out. But we still have another Osadolo loading here. Dean School of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor H.B. Osadolo. And we have the potent Dean, Faculty of Communication, being represented here today by Professor Ambrose Utenu. We have another new faculty, Faculty of Computing and Information Science, Professor Mrs. V.V.N. Akokuma. The Dean School of Dentistry, a very reputable dentist who smiles very well all of the time, Professor Mrs. Niboku Ize Iyamu. The Dean Faculty of Education, who claims to be the oldest of all the days in the park, Professor Kingsley Omogiwa. And one of the not too long appointed or elected dean, the Dean Faculty of Engineering, Professor K.O. Ogbede. The dean who is always coming from Russia, and we are lucky to have him today, he didn't get hung up in Ukraine, and his dress is always different each time. Professor Raphael Egato Irugwe, Dean Faculty of Environmental Sciences. The Dean Faculty of Law is represented here today by Dr. Elizabeth Iyamu Ojo. And we have the Dean School of Medicine being represented here by Professor N.O. Enaruna. And we have the Dean Faculty of Management Sciences and Acting Capacity, Professor Mrs. Esther Evairo Osage. And we have the Pro-Tem Dean, Faculty of Nursing Science. There's no misses in this, there's no miss in this. He's a man managing the affairs of nursing science. So if we say a nurse, what comes to your mind is a lady, but this time around is a man. Professor F.U. Okafo. And the Potent Dean Faculty of Optometry, woman who has held the powerhouse of admission in this university, but now transiting to deanship, Professor Mrs. E. Ogre. And we have representing the Dean Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor Patrick Ibinadua. The dean that I will call next is when I call his name, people will always laugh, but I think I've improved a little over that. The Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences, Professor E.O. Ayowi. I'm still learning, and learning continues until one drops the whole thing. We have also with us the Protein Dean, Faculty of Science Laboratory Technology, Professor J.O. Osanwesi. And of course, we have the Dean, Faculty of Vocational and Technical Education, Professor E.E. Uko Aviomo. I hope the camera will have to be adjusted so that we pick them. Otherwise, if you can't find them straight, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. Just believe they are there. We have the Director Center for Gender Studies being represented here today by Dr. Mrs. M.O. Akinnibosун. Please let's encourage them by clapping very well for them. We have a director who is also celebrating today because he's attending this program is the first time in that capacity. Professor B.O. Edegbai, the Director of Center for Entrepreneurship Development. Congratulations. And we have the Director, Center for Educational Technology, Professor Hassan Oyakhena, is also in the park there. And also the Director, Teflon Center of Excellence for Aquaculture, Food and Food Technology, Professor Mrs. Isioma Obo. We have also with us the Director, Center for Sustainable Development. Is also a brand new director. And always an editor in this university, always in the media, projecting issues of alumni, Professor Eddie Eragbe. We have also the new director, Advanced Digital Engineering Center. We used to have a lady there. This time around we have a brand new Professor R.S. Eboziaye. Congratulations. And we have also the Director of Research, Innovation and Development, Distinguished Law Professor N.F. Unuigbe. We have the Director of Student Guidance and Counseling Center of this university, Professor Mrs. O.N. Ahie is also here. Please, let's give her a round of applause. The Director of the Center of Excellence focusing on mushroom research and technological innovations, Professor E.O. Akpaja. All the way from Ekewa Campus, Director, Institute of Public Administration, Health Services Management, Dr. John Osanghai. Dr. F.O. Woere is the Director, Center for Maritime and ICT. Let's give him a round of applause. Leading the Vice Chancellor Central is his Deputy Registrar in charge of Senate Matters, Mrs. C.I. Egiato. Please, let's give all of them a round of applause inside the stage. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to call on the Acting Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academy is standing in for the Vice Chancellor to present the Vice Chancellor's address.
Our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Edoba Bright American, SAN, is unavoidably absent. The reason he has directed me to come and read his address for this occasion. I therefore crave your indulgence to read the address as presented by the Vice Chancellor. Principal officers of the university, Provost, College of Postgraduate Studies, Provost, College of Medical Sciences, the deans of faculties and schools, directors of institutes, members of council here present, professors emeriti and members of Senate, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, staff and students, distinguished invited guests and friends of the university, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, greatest Nigerian students. It is with delight I welcome you all to the 348th in the inaugural lecture series of the University of Benin. Today's lecture is the 8th to be delivered in the Department of Microbiology, 50th in the Faculty of Life Sciences, and by the grace of God, the 19th to be delivered in my tenure as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our lecturer for today. She is Professor Mrs. Faith IGUODALA AKINNIBOSUN. The title of our lecture is Microbial Mischief or Mastery, the magic, mystery, and measurable impacts. Professor Mrs. Faith IGUODALA AKINNIBOSUN was born on the 14th day of March 1972 to the family of Mr. Sunday Abiodun Asowata and Mrs. Grace Asowata of Ugeudu village, Umuode local government area, Edo State, and from Ugefa royal family of Benin Kingdom, both of blessed memory. She attended the Daike Primary School from 1977 to 1980, and later Ubo Primary School to obtain her first school living certificate in 1983. She attended Uselu Secondary School from 1983 to 1988 and obtained her West African School certificate in 1988 from the same school. She gained admission into the University of Benin to study microbiology, where she obtained a BSc Honors Microbiology degree, second class upper division. Professor Mrs. AKINNIBOSUN participated in the one-year mandatory National Youth Service at Plateau State Water Board, Lamiga Treatment Plant, Jos, from 1995 to 1996. In order to broaden her knowledge, she obtained the following additional degrees from the University of Benin: MSc Environmental and Public Health Microbiology in 1998 and PhD Environmental and Public Health Microbiology in 2010. Professor Mrs. AKINNIBOSUN joined the services of the University of Benin in 2001 as an assistant lecturer in the Department of Microbiology and rose through the ranks to the position of a professor in 2019. She has held several administrative positions within and outside the University of Benin, such as Head, Department of Microbiology, Faculty of Science, Edo University, Iyamo, 2016 to 2017. Acting Dean, Faculty of Science, Edo State University Uzare, 2017. Chairman, Senate Committee on Assessment of Quality of Teaching in Edo University, Amo, 2017. Head of Department, Microbial, University of Benin, 2022 to date. Faculty of Life Sciences representative to the Faculty of Engineering, Board of Studies, University of Benin. Professor Mrs. AKINNIBOSUN is a member fellow of several professional bodies and associations, which include Fellow, Linear Society of London, United Kingdom. Member, Society for General Microbiology, United Kingdom. Member, Society for Microbial Ecology, United Kingdom. Member, the Bioflake Club, United Kingdom. Member, Society for Applied Microbiology, United Kingdom. Member, American Society of Microbiology. Member, Third World Organization for Women in Sciences. Professor AKINNIBOSUN is a recipient of the following awards: Exeter Research Scholarship, University of Exeter, United Kingdom, 2006. School of Bioscience Award, University of Exeter, United Kingdom, 2006. Society for General Microbiology Postgraduate Students Conference Grant, 2008. Federal Government of Nigeria Scholarship, University of Benin, 2003. Best student for 5 consecutive sessions, Uselu Secondary School, Benin City. 1983 to 1988. And of course, the inaugural lecturer for today is an outstanding leadership award winner from University of Benin Alumni Association, Uniden Branch. Professor Mrs. Faith AKINNIBOSUN has successfully supervised 5 PhD theses, 84 MSc projects, 71 postgraduate diploma projects, and several undergraduate projects. She has over 100 scientific publications in books and journals. She has served as external examiner, assessor, resource person to several federal and state universities across Nigeria. She is also an editorial board member and reviewer to several national and international journals. She has attended several local, national, and international symposia, workshops, and conferences. Professor Mrs. Faith IGUODALA AKINNIBOSUN hobbies are reading, dancing, playing indoor games,